He walked into a restaurant parking lot in broad daylight and vanished without a trace. No screams, no witnesses, no body. 50 years later, one question still haunts America. What really happened to Jimmy Hoffa? For decades, the FBI searched landfills, rivers, and empty fields. Mob informants talked. Lies piled on top of lies. But a new mob theory suggests Jimmy Hoffa didn't just disappear. He was lured, betrayed, and erased by the people he trusted most. And what investigators uncovered years later may finally explain why his body was never found. Jimmy Hoffa wasn't just a labor leader, he was power. As president of the Teamsters Union, Hoffa controlled millions of workers and billions of dollars in pension funds. Money that caught the attention of the American mafia. Hoffa made deals with mob bosses to expand union influence. In return, the mob gained access to cash, control, and protection. But power always comes with enemies. And by the early 1970s, Hoffa was fighting on two fronts: the federal government and the mob itself. What most people don't realize is Hoffa was losing both, and that made him dangerous. After serving time in federal prison, Hoffa wanted his throne back, but the mob had already replaced him. To them, Hoffa wasn't just irrelevant, he was a liability. He knew names, deals, secrets that could destroy powerful men. According to insiders, Hoffa began threatening to expose everything if he wasn't reinstated as Teamsters president. That's when the tone changed. Friends stopped returning calls, meetings were delayed, and whispers began circulating that Hoffa had signed his own death warrant. But Hoffa didn't believe the mob would actually kill him. That belief would prove fatal. July 30th, 1975. Jimmy Hoffa drives to the Mac's Red Fox restaurant in suburban Detroit. He's expecting a meeting with two mob-linked figures he trusted. He waits. He paces. He complains. At 2:45 p.m., witnesses see Hoffa talking to someone in a car. Minutes later, he's gone. No struggle, no evidence. It was as if he stepped out of reality itself. But what investigators would later discover suggests this wasn't a random disappearance. It was a perfectly executed mob operation. For decades, theories focused on burial sites, under stadiums, in concrete, in rivers. But a newer theory points to something far more chilling. Investigators now believe Hoffa was killed within hours, not days, inside a controlled location tied directly to mob operations. His body was allegedly cremated almost immediately, leaving nothing behind. No grave, no remains, no closure. Why? Because the mob didn't want a body to become evidence or a symbol. They wanted Hoffa erased. And if true, it explains why 50 years of searching turned up nothing. But there's one problem. The men believed to be responsible all died without confessing. Or did they? Over the years, deathbed confessions surfaced. Former mobsters claimed they knew what happened. Every lead collapsed under scrutiny. Stories contradicted each other. Timelines didn't match. The FBI spent millions chasing ghosts. And Hoffa's family? They were left with silence. No grave to visit. No truth to hold on to. Just a father who never came home. If you're drawn to stories where power, betrayal, and silence collide, This is what we do here on Casefile Commentary TV. Consider subscribing and turning on notifications because the next case may be even darker. So ask yourself this: was Jimmy Hoffa murdered because he wanted power back, or because he knew secrets powerful men could never allow to surface? And if the mob truly perfected the art of erasing him, how many other stories ended the same way, without a trace? Jimmy Hoffa didn't just disappear. He became a warning. A reminder that when power threatens power, truth is often the first thing to die. And somewhere between loyalty and betrayal, an entire man vanished from history. This case remains officially unsolved, but the silence surrounding Jimmy Hoffa may be the loudest answer of all. You're watching Casefile Commentary TV, where cold cases never stay quiet for long. And this mystery is far from over.